Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Coping with Life, Disabled and Mentally Ill. I'm your host, Scott. Hello, everybody. Now, as if you are a normal listener of mine, you know that I'm fairly positive. Now, sometimes I'm very harsh when it comes to video game stuff, because that is how I am. And as somebody with disabilities and autism and a lot of stuff, there's a lot of things. So, and this is my humble opinion. Please take it with a grain of salt. If you like it, fantastic. For me, I am kind of disappointed. And this is my personal review of WWE 2K25. As an avid wrestling fan, I had high hopes for WWE 2K25, especially after purchasing the Bloodline edition, thinking it would be a step forward for the series. Unfortunately, the game left me feeling more disappointed than excited. Here's the detailed breakdown of my experience with the game. The bad: too many microtransactions. With the island mode and my faction, one of the first things that struck me about WWE 2K25 was the overwhelming presence of microtransactions. Every corner of these game modes feels like it's pushing you to spend money, whether it's for unlocking content, really crappy things, and for a full price game. This is extremely frustrating. It feels like 2K is more interested in nickel and diming players than delivering a solid experience. The island mode is boring. While initially intriguing, quickly became monotonous and really stupid. And it should not be in a wrestling game. It should stay in basketball, in my opinion. And I ignore it. There's no point loading it up because it's just a cash grab. Same with my faction, which I've been vocal about in years past. And for a lot of people, it's the main draw. It just doesn't do it for me. It's grindy and makes you want to open packs. And there's it's just not for me. My Rise, it's a star mode, but it falls short in many areas. It's too grindy and it's far too repetitive. You have to beat it 7 times. Not a lot of unlock. And it's just, you did this. And some of the thing that they force you to complete the in-match thing, then scripted, and I'm not a fan, especially in showcase mode. I'm disappointed in showcase mode as well. They added, so there's still challenges that you have to do, but they now add timers, and for people with disabilities, that's not cool, especially on easy mode. do this and you have 30 seconds to do it, or, it's not cool. I'm, as an advocate and for somebody with disabilities and you're forcing me to do stuff, and it's not enjoyable. And so as somebody with disability, I can't enjoy that. But the okay, the it's, I have spent the last week playing, and so I'm gonna go back to my raise before I do the okay, because it's grindy, and you add monotony of you add the monotony of several things, and then you have live, and so basically you have to get 280 stars, and to unlock certain people, mainly local talent. Super Cena is at 20 stars. In a special DDP is at 280. But Finn Balor, who I enjoy very much, is 235 stars. And it's monotony, because, yeah, you have rebooking things, but it's boring. There's no story, there's no commentary. I get it's supposed to be a house show, but why is my character, because at this point in the story, it was the female one that I was using. Why is she facing this random person in a ladder match? Why they're still... It makes no sense. Like, I had 3 steel cages in a row. One was against local talent, one was against Braun Strowman, and the other one was Nikki Cross. I don't understand. Like, and then you're spending 15-20 minutes trying to get 5 stars, and it's not fun. The game controls are the same as the last couple years, and it's just me being old, and I want to have fun, and especially having other people watch me do matches. Having a quote-unquote 5-star match is really boring, whereas some of the 1-star matches that are quote-unquote dull were really entertaining, and people liked it a lot better. But, this is my opinion, and I'm entitled to my opinion. But the okay. Normal matches, the basic matches, they function, and they're okay, but it's nothing to go home about. And the universe mode is a letdown. Universe mode used to be one of the highlights of the WWE games, but they lack as somebody who loves creating stuff and going through everything is just, I'm going to be honest, I'd rather load up 2K15 or 2K16 because those universe modes were good. And I would actually even go to the pre-2K universe modes, which were even better. And especially for somebody with limited budget, spending $130 and feeling like a waste of money. Because especially for the first 72 hours, I couldn't even play my Reveiw. It kept on crashing. And yet they were putting out all these updates and fixes to my faction and the island. And the only reason why, in my humble opinion, why my Reveiw even got an update to patch it was because people were causing a ruckus, as they should. Because, there's a lot of other game modes in years past where when people have issues, they don't care because it's not costing them any money. And my issue with the Creation Suite. And as somebody who loves creating my own wrestlers, arenas, the championships, I found the Creation Suite to be frustrating. There were several instances when I accidentally deleted things that I worked hard on, and it can't recover from. And even with, it's like save, and then you save it in, and then it takes you to the main menu, and then you go load it up and it's gone. It didn't save. And that's not fun. Especially when I edit things and create my people, and then I keep on hitting save, confirm save, and yet it doesn't save, which is ridiculous, in my opinion. And I'm playing on the PS5. And even unlocking content doesn't stay unlocked, which is frustrating, especially spending $130 on the Bloodline edition. And especially with the majority of the lackluster DLC that is coming out throughout the month, probably not gonna download them because the people that I play with are like, just go back to the other games that were more fun to watch, because especially when you're scrolling through the roster, everything that is behind paywalls, like my faction and the island, is a question mark. It's pointless. And I know it was in last year's game, which I didn't pay for. I got it free for PlayStation Plus, and I don't have many hours in it. Especially since the PS5 version, a lot of the stuff that I can't do because the game soft locks me out. Same with WWE 2K23. Had the same issue. And they're, after putting in tickets and stuff, they didn't care. So, and as somebody who's disabled and somebody who really saves up money for the few things that they really care about, and feel like I wasted $130, that I don't really have. It breaks my heart. It really does. And they'd rather stick with pushing. Because every time that you load up WWE, they have all the splash screens of news of everything about their paid content, the My Faction and The Island and everything there, and it's like, what about offline mode? What about, why I am spending this money, and yet 2K had this track record of, if it costs them money, it's fixed in an hour. If it doesn't, they don't care. And for people who have an issue with this, like 2K, I have my receipts. So it's just a big drawback. So, as a negative Nancy that I am right now, I'm also very sleep deprived. Working on writing out my thoughts throughout the past week. As a lifelong WWE fan, I had high expectations for WWE 2K25, especially given that I opted for the Bloodline edition. However, the game doesn't live to the hype. The microtransactions, repetitive gameplay, and just lack of updates to key mode that feel like a step backwards for the series. The grind heavy modes like My Rise and My Faction just didn't appeal to me, and I found myself wishing I had passed on this title. For anyone on the fence, I would recommend skipping this one. If you're looking for fresh and exciting, if you're a diehard fan like me, you're better off waiting for a future update or patch that might address some of these issues. WWE 2K25 just doesn't capture the magic of past games, and ultimately it left me feeling disappointed. And I am tired of being burned. And I am very critical of games that are, I'm spending money to enjoy, and I'm not a reactor who is going to overreact on things. I'm giving my humble opinion as a normal disabled person, and I'm not a professional reviewer. Now, there is a game mode that I have not talked about, and that is jam mode. Like the last couple of years, I really haven't played it because I don't like some of the things that mode makes you do. And I want to go farther with it. There's a few people that have interest to play that mode with me. And I'm going to try the online on that. But some of the things that for the solo that I'm not a fan of is when I think of GM mode, I want to be able to, like in universe mode, basically make my matches, have my superstars, and do everything and not have somebody like Triple H say, oh, you need to rest this person, or you need to make sure that you have them do a promo, or make sure that they're not on your show. And it's like, but I have plans. I want to be able to do this, and so it's a mode that I don't touch. I stick with universe mode, and it's just I'm highly disappointed, and it really pains me, especially having my friend group who, because I was really excited. I was really excited for the game, and I can share my screen with all my friends, and they can watch, and I usually have, a list of matches, and it was really, really evident that offline mode wasn't their care, because they were not fans. I would just load up a different wrestling game or a different game in general, which really, really sucks. It really does. And I'm tired. I'm tired of giving bad reviews to games. But that's my honest opinion. I want to love on games and be able to there, but when majority of there is, spend all this money and now spend, it's like, I don't got that, and nor, monotony and stuff. It's just not my vibe, and take it as it is. And I really hope that they address a few things, but yeah, in my opinion, don't believe everything that you read or hear. Sometimes you have to try it yourself. And I spent last week, and with it officially coming out yesterday for the standard edition, I was really hoping that it would address, but the patches were just for the island, and especially when a lot of things are not enjoyable, and a lot of the moves, and transitions in the moves themselves feel robotic, and like there were a few instances where because we went through all the game modes, and it just some of the game modes were very button mashy heavy, and I don't have the power to button mash like they want me to, and especially with all the options, it's for somebody who's disabled and mentally ill, this game is a pass. It really is. With timers and objectives that are really not well spoken, especially in my rise. There is a certain point where you have to do a tag team maneuver, and I'm reading, and everybody else in the chat room are there, and they're reading what it says to do, and they're all helping me, And I'm following it to the T. But that's not what you're supposed to do. All that they should say is whip into corner, press X, tag your partner. Instead of there, and especially with tutorial modes, I don't need tutorial modes. I just want to play the game. And even when you turn off tutorial modes are still on. I don't understand that. And that's a me thing. So I give WWE 2K25 a 0 out of 10. And before I hit record, I was going to do 3 out of 10. But as somebody who has put in a lot of hours, it is 0 out of 10. And I really hope in 6-7 months that I can change that. But I have put 40 hours into the game, and I feel super let down and super sad. So that is my honest opinion on WWE 2K25. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think I'm going to be buying another wrestling game from 2K. Because they just want to gouge more money from you and, make all the promos and stuff look cool, and when you actually play it, it's a letdown. So, with that said, love the people in your life. And if you enjoy it, fantastic. I'm happy that you enjoy it. I really do. But for me, I can enjoy it. And it's just, and again, with timing QT and stuff, especially with chain wrestling, as somebody with mental health issues, disabilities, it's a path. And so, until next week, hopefully I'm more positive and more happy, and but this is me coping with life, and super disappointed. So I love you all. Till next week, I bid you all adieu.